Hello, my dears. It is the time. It's a very intense, energetic time. The 11/11 portal just happened, and I believe that energy is going to be considered active until January. And there's also the Scorpio new moon that happened yesterday. It's a time of death and rebirth, time of extreme changes that we've needed to make for a long time. I know that there's been a lot of heavy facing of things in me, getting really honest with myself. Even though I have all the compassion for myself of why I've been in certain patterns in my life, I've just kind of decided to stop in a way, I don't mean to be so harsh, but in a way I've stopped excusing my behavior and excusing my patterns, because while I have immense 100% complete compassion for myself of where certain patterns and things in my life come from, it's not benefiting me. And I will remain compassionate with myself, but it's a time of, okay, this is the facts of how my life has been. This is what I don't like about my life anymore. And this is how, for better or for worse, my behavior and my patterning is causing these behaviors. So a little bit of tough love, a little bit of okay, just being extremely honest with myself and how I am in one way or another causing the patterns in my life that I'm unhappy with. And I think that's really very healing. It's been very refreshing, honestly, to just be balls to the walls, honest with myself. I have some downloads that I texted to myself the other day that I wanted to mention. Oh, this was a big thing that's been coming up. So we've been talking a lot about breaking karmic patterns, and this is the perfect time for this. Scorpio new moon, Scorpio season is a huge time for death and rebirth. We've been talking a lot about getting honest with ourselves with breaking karmic patterns and even recognizing karmic patterns that we've been in. What I've been noticing for myself is that as I set a timeline for certain things to exit my life, as I see the light at the end of the tunnel with certain things, patterns that have plagued me my entire adult life, these things are getting infinitely worse. It's almost as if these karmic patterns know that they're on their way out, so they're kicking and screaming and clawing on their way out and throwing a big fit because they know they're about to be sent to the, lethal injection room. And I think that feels universal, where it's okay, say it's romantic patterns that you're trying to change, and you are practicing celibacy, you're getting in therapy, you're changing all these things about yourself, you have raised your standards, and you're I'm just simply not going to be dealing with this kind of romantic relationship anymore forever and ever. I'm facing things about my parents and why I'm attracted to certain people. In my case, at least, and I'm sure somebody out there will relate to this, as you're taking care of this pattern of romantic relationships, the worst and most karmic person and the most like reflective of the most unhealthy parts of your dad and mom is going to come into your life and tempt your ass off. Some people might call it, like once God starts blessing you and once God starts changing your life in so many ways, the devil gets angry that you're being taken away from him. So he sends you the biggest temptation that there's ever been. You're going back to school, you're breaking these financial patterns forever, and then you run into the worst financial situation of your life. I can't explain it. I don't know why this is how it happens, but like it really seems that once we commit ourselves to being better and breaking certain patterns forever, they'll really kick up and get very intense. So what I'm saying is like stay strong, stay in your power, keep moving forward on these paths no matter what. Like don't give up just because you're like, oh my God, I'm finally changing these things about my financial life and my financial life gets worse than ever. Oh my God, I'm finally changing things and committed to changing things in my romantic life, and the most tempting karmic head-ass person comes into my life. Keep your head down, keep the faith, stay on the path. I wrote, the devil gets mad and tries to pull you in when you are getting closer to God. You might be sent the worst romantic partner right before you make a huge breakthrough with romantic patterns. Get very clear about whose voice you're listening to. Have discernment. Because sometimes those things that are sent in right before the big change happens are very tempting, and my bangs are looking uneven right now, and it's been bothering me the whole time I've been recording. Okay, there we go. Then I wrote, sometimes I feel so frustrated, like I am repeating the same patterns and going nowhere. But if I really look at it, I am making progress and setting out to make... What? I am making the progress I am setting out to make always. Maybe just not in the sudden, in-my-face ways I want. But I am making progress. Patience, temperance, trusting the unfolding, stay focused, refine, align, have discipline, and daily action makes huge progress. So this might be a time of temperance for you. Things generally slow down around this time. It's winter. If you want to be in harmony with nature, this is a time that we generally start to slow down and go literally inside, literally within. Go within, really get honest with yourself about the patterns that have happened in your life. And for better or for worse, you might have to give yourself some tough love. How are you contributing to these patterns? And yes, you can have all the compassion for yourself in the world and see, oh, my dad, was a total absent piece of shit when I was a kid, so of course I have problems with men. Yes, you didn't deserve that. That was not your fault. Just an example. But now, maybe you're in your 20s, maybe you're in your 30s, it's like, okay, do I want to sit here and blame my dad for the rest of my life and never be able to really heal and never be able to really let a good man into my life because I'm so bitter and angry towards my dad? It's like, you can have that compassion for yourself and say, that wasn't my fault, I didn't deserve that, I didn't deserve that shitty childhood, but now I'm taking my power back. I'm going to stop giving my power away to my dad or my shitty family or whatever financial things. Like, tough love for me right now is like realizing that a lot of the wounding that I have is not my fault, but it's my responsibility to get my shit together and to live a beautiful life as an adult. And shining the light on these things alone is healing. Shining the light of awareness on things alone is curative. Shout out to Leo Gura of Actualize.com for introducing me to that phrase, awareness alone is curative. So like knowing what's going on is the first step, but have patience and know that these humongous changes are not going to happen overnight. It's going to be a practice. It's going to be a cultivation. It's going to, you know, if you've been living a certain way for 10, 20, 30 years, changing that is not going to happen overnight. And if you expect it to happen overnight, you're going to be disappointed and you're probably going to burn out and you're not going to stick to it. And you'll stay in the patterns. You are breaking generational cycles. Of course they aren't going to go down without a fight. That connects to the first message. Like, sometimes we get really comfortable, whether we realize it or not, with a subpar life. So it's like, I don't know where that just came from, but that's part of breaking generational cycles. Sometimes we get complacent. Sometimes our ancestors have gotten complacent. You know I come from a long line of domestic abuse. And it's like, that's a touchy subject, but yeah, I'm not going to go there. But like, we don't often like to admit this, but sometimes it's more comfortable to be in a shitty situation that's familiar rather than do the work to break out into a healthy cycle that's unfamiliar. Why? I don't know. Trust me. Would I rather be attracted to super healthy, grounded, emotionally available people with their shit together? Yes, I would. But for many years, what's familiar to me is not that. And it's almost like preferable, or it has been at least preferable to me, to go with what's familiar that I know is unhealthy than what is unfamiliar that I know is healthy. Not anymore, though. Period. Not anymore. We're breaking those cycles forever. Yeah. Slow change will take time, but it will last. Become comfortable with not having all the answers right away. Become comfortable with slow progress. I watched an Andrew Huberman video. Talk about a beautiful, healthy man. And he was talking about, I'm obsessed with him, by the way, heart, mind, body, and soul. He was talking about making the doing the dopamine hit and not the results, not the reward. So like if you're on a gym journey and you want to get your body to this amazing changed place, you have to make the act of going to the gym the part that gives you the dopamine, rather than just waiting for the muscles to show to have that reward come. Because if you only look forward to the results, you're invariably going to get discouraged. And that's something that I've been working into my gym journey, where I'm like, yeah, it's happened to me before, like where I don't see results in 3 times of going to the gym, and I'm like, oh, well, this obviously isn't working. You have to learn how to enjoy the doing. Learn how to enjoy the journey and make the journey the fun part for you. And he said one great way to do that is not to reward yourself. Like if we're going with the gym example, don't reward yourself before going to the gym and don't reward yourself after going to the gym. Train your brain to get that reward center pleasure from the going to the gym itself. And that, like anything, is a cultivation. It's a practice. It's weird. You might not enjoy going to the gym right now, but like if you want big results, you have to decentralize just being able to get that hit of reward chemicals at the end of the journey. Make the doing itself what brings you the happiness and the satisfaction. So first thing that came out was the Queen of Swords reversed. You are, this says to me getting sick of your own shit. This says to me I am taking a little bit of a hermit mode to get honest with myself, to cut out the parts of me that are no longer working. And then we have the Tower. The Tower with the Queen of Swords reversed. So this is big Scorpio new moon energy. This is big 11/11 portal energy. 11/11 is one of my favorite portals of the year just because it's so symmetrical and it's such a powerful number of transformation. The Queen of Swords reversed with the Tower says to me, this is done. I know all the videos on YouTube that you watch every new moon are like, we're cutting off what's no longer serving us. We're getting rid of things that are no longer working. We're starting new beginnings. But it's like 11/11 portal with the Scorpio new moon right next to it is death. Like, this stuff is no more. It's not, oh, I'm breaking romantic cycles, but maybe I'll date one more fuckboy. No. This is, I am breaking cycles of generational poverty forever. But maybe I'll blow a little bit of money on this. No. This is new era shit. Forever. And if you got to go through a little bit of struggle to get there, and you got to let those cycles kick and scream and kick up and flare up because they know they're on their way out forever, don't get discouraged, man. That can be an incredibly, I'm going through it now myself. Trust me. I'm putting forth concerted effort every single day to end certain cycles that have plagued me my entire adult life. And those bitches are kicking and screaming and getting worse because they know they're on their way out. Don't get discouraged. Do what you got to do to keep moving forward every day, because this is done energy. I am so sick of my own shit, I could puke energy. This is looking at yourself in the mirror, stripping yourself down and saying, it's time to stop blaming my abusers. It's time, straight up, it's time to stop blaming my family. You can have all the compassion for yourself that you do deserve. Hell no, you didn't deserve to get abused. Hell no, you didn't deserve to be neglected and exposed to generations of bullshit and trauma. Of course not. course not. I don't mean to sound harsh, but this is what I'm exactly doing with myself. Is like, okay, are you going to sit in a subpar life for the rest of your life and just say, well, this is why, and this is why? This is some real Scorpio energy shit. Like, look at it, and you can say, I have love and compassion for myself. I know why I am the way I am, or have been the way I have been. I understand and have compassion for myself. I hold my inner child. I say, you didn't deserve that. You didn't deserve to be exposed to generations of abuse and trauma and poverty and neglect. You didn't deserve that. And now wrap that up in a nice little blanket and put it off to bed and say, okay, it's time to change this shit forever. It's time to murder this part of myself that has been broke. It's time to murder this part of myself that has been a victim. Mercilessly. I'm so sick of my own shit. I'm a whole new bitch. Really. No more blame. You can cut those people straight out of your life. And keep them away because you know they're toxic, but no more blaming them for where you are in life. This is your responsibility because guess what? These two things can coexist perfectly. You can say, wow, I didn't deserve this. This is why things are the way they are. I was never taught how to handle my money. I was never taught how to do this. I was completely neglected. I was abused. Yes. Wrap that up and put it over here. And now you say, well, guess what? I deserve an abundant life. I deserve a peaceful life. This cycle is over. And it's not happening no more. Because you deserve a good life. You deserve an abundant life. You deserve a life that attracts beautiful, well-grounded people that are doing this same exact work on themselves. Like attracts like. I say it every day to myself. And it might get lonely. It might have to be lonely. I can't do this level of work on myself and constantly be socializing. I wouldn't want to. I'm an introvert anyway. You might have to take a lot of time alone to do this work. But it's a new dawn. It's a new day. So get excited, but also this is going to be a winter of a lot of work. This is going to be a winter of a lot of serious work and cycle breaking. So I'm ready for that. I hope you're ready for that. Because I'm excited. This is going to be a lot of serious work and a lot of alone time and a lot of keeping my head down. But I refuse to continue the same bullshit and bring the same bullshit into 2024 that was plaguing me in 2023 and my whole adult life. So don't get discouraged if you feel like you've set out to make all these changes and things in that category are just getting worse for you right now. That's kind of just how it goes. Once the devil sees that he's losing you, he'll grab you by the ankle and give you the most tempting situation in the world. Right in that category. So, stay strong. Incremental progress. Know that big, huge changes, sure, sometimes things will happen in the blink of an eye. Sometimes miracles will happen that suddenly shift everything. But by and large, this kind of level of work takes time. And it takes consistency, and it takes showing up and showing up and showing up. So make the doing the pleasurable part for you. Don't just look forward to the goal, because you're probably going to burn yourself out and get sick of showing up. I know from time and time and time again. I love you. I hope you're enjoying Scorpio season. I know I am. My Scorpio rising head ass. And watch my podcast. Kaz from Tim and Eric was on the latest episode. He's amazing. Awesome friend of mine. And if you'd like to book Reiki or Tarot with me, let me know in the comments. Love you.